It was the summer of 2024. I was doing Doordash as my primary income, and that's when I came across the guy who had the massive record, who took my car to go get washed. And then after that, he brought my car back halfway decent. It was vacuum. I could tell he tried to vacuum. But after that event, I started noticing when I would do DoorDash, there would be cars following me. And it was primarily people from Alabama or Alabama license plates that I would notice the primary cars that would follow me. It was a lot of white cars. Some of them said Fleet on it, so they could be a company-owned car or government-owned car. But I'm trying to think of the first time I remember being followed. It was so many times, but it was one time I was at, I believe I was at Steak and Shake, and I was waiting for the food. You have to go inside to get your order at Steak and Shake. Oh shoot, that is a red light and I'm gonna turn it. But I almost ran the red light. I was waiting for the food, and as I was going inside, I noticed like these white cars, and this is when I first started noticing all these white cars. Everywhere I went, I didn't know that I was being stalked, and followed at the time, but I just started noticing, wow, I'm seeing a whole bunch of white cars as I'm doing DoorDash. But this particular time at Steak and Shake, it was like two or three cars at Steak and Shake. I just remember one in particular, but I remember in the parking lot, it was other cars sitting in the parking lot, and the car was running because it was cold outside, so you could see like the smoke or whatever from their exhaust. And so this car had an Alabama plate, and it was parked backwards right by the door. So I went inside to check on the food, and then I came back out and I stood behind the car and I got like a picture of their license plate, because I'm like, well, I don't know why they're here. And I guess they saw me standing by the door behind their car, and then they took off. And then so I went to the customer's house to deliver the food, and then I noticed a car was behind me following me. Now it's nighttime, it's cold out, and so this had to be October or November at this time. I dealt with stuff like all summer, but I started really noticing, like, they became really obvious by like October, November, because this is like when a lot of stuff started happening at my apartment. And so I noticed after I left the Steak and Shake, got the food, I noticed the car was following me all the way to the customer's house. And then other times I would do DoorDash, I would pick up the food from the restaurant, I would notice cars just sitting in the parking lot of the restaurant, and I would see, people in it. It's primarily black males that would be sitting in the car. And so I would go get the food and then head to the customer's house, and as I'm driving to the customer's house, I would see like the same headlights, the same car that followed me from the restaurant, and they're following me to the customer's house. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, this is really creepy. And I'm thinking, well, maybe this is like the customer trying to set me up or something. And I would call DoorDash and I would tell them what's going on, and they were like, well, sometimes customers think you have money on you, and maybe, they could try to set you up or whatever. And they gave me some advice about the safety tips and things like that they have through the app. But this continued like all 2024, all fall, winter 2025. It just got worse because it would just be more cars, and I would change my location often I would go from Alabama. I would work in Alabama, in different cities in Alabama, and it was worse in Alabama because that's where the most of the people who were following me lived, like, you know, with the Alabama license plates. But then I would go in Georgia and go, like, try to go as far north as I can. It didn't matter. I would see the same car. I remember this one guy in particular. I would see him everywhere I go. He had, like, I forgot what color now. It was like a weird color, like teal car or something, like a four-door car. It was really small, like a girl car. And I would see him if I'm in Alabama, and then if I'm in different cities in Georgia. Like, I could go, you know, an hour or two away from Alabama, and I would still see the same guy every single time I'm doing Doordash. You know, this other guy had like a SUV, and I would see him no matter where I'm doing Doordash. I'm just like, this is like legit stalking. And it was at that point in time, I'm telling my family what's going on. Like, I'm not safe. I'm being followed all the time. And, excuse me, they, the spraying of the stuff, like, and how I'm coughing. Yeah, that happened a lot while I was doing Doordash. I would go into like a gas station, and then I come back in my car and I'm coughing, or I go into the restaurant, especially if it was a mall. That gives them more time to get in my car and spray whatever it was that they were spraying in my car. But anyway, so I would tell my family what was going on, and I'm not safe, and I'm doing Doordash. And yeah, I'm doing it at night, but I'm doing this in like really good areas. Like, this is either like a college town or like really wealthy areas with, you know, big houses, and, you know, so it's not like I'm doing it in bad neighborhoods. I'm doing this in good neighborhoods when I'm still being followed, so it didn't matter. And I was just like, I was done. Like, at the point when it was summer of last year, I had enough, and my app stopped working. My app was hacked. My phone was hacked. I kept having to switch phones throughout the whole time I was doing Doordash, because my phone would stop working. The app would log in by itself. It was horrible. It was a nightmare. And I, like, you don't know how many times I have purchased a new phone, a new plan, and the same stuff. It's because they were doing this, what is it called? Stingray. It's like a fake cell phone tower, and they connect to your phone. And so wherever you are, they have your GPS location and access to your phone. My app would log in by itself after I log it out. It was just really creepy. I'm not sure why anybody would do anything like that.